All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Geneva Semifinals. Hurkacz is already into the final. He took out Ovna in straight sets. And now it's Norrie taking on Djokovic. Norrie took out Popyrin yesterday, which is a little bit of a surprise. But, yeah, here we are. By the way, chat, this is updated. I know for months people have been asking me, why are you showing matches from Auckland? Well, now, these are the matches that happened yesterday. So the scores on the side are now have been fixed. So there you go. So there are all the results on the side. You can watch them. You can see the results from yesterday. It's on this side. All right, players are about to come out of court. Now, these guys have played before. I think didn't they play a spicy Rome match a couple of years ago where Djokovic got smacked by a smash and didn't take too kindly to that. And then he beat Norrie anyway, but he didn't like Norrie that day. They've actually played 4 times, 4-0 Djokovic. Haven't played since 2023, so obviously, I mean, it's kind of like the Djokovic, like this is the new Djokovic, the new old Djokovic, who, 2023, Djokovic was on fire and Norrie had to play that guy. Norrie hasn't played this version of Djokovic, which is a little bit different to what he's probably played before. They did play at Wimbledon Semifinals 2022. Norrie got the first set and then lost. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting match. Norrie came through the qualifiers. He also hasn't been his best self lately. But this is an interesting point. I don't think these guys are friends, which is fine. I like that. I like it when players aren't friends. It's more fun. But we'll see what happens. Let's go, Bombers. Yes, we won. We got the win. And we got a lot of injuries. But we don't talk about that. Surprisingly, Nole for a 250. I'm going to be honest, though. I respect it. Because who gives a shit if you win a 250 win your 100th? Who cares if it's an easy title? Who cares? We don't remember every title that everybody won anyway. So who cares if his 100th title is not a Grand Slam or a gold medal, right? Doesn't matter. 250 is a title, and it adds to the pile of titles, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If Djokovic does win this and people are saying that he's not worthy, okay, whatever. I mean, we could break down everybody's big titles, and I think Djokovic has won most of the big titles anyway than everybody else. So he can win. I think he's allowed to win a 250 and get his 100th title. Also, I feel like this is... Now that Djokovic is in this stage and he's playing, because we thought, maybe he doesn't play all the way through, but I think at this rate, and I think Djokovic is also playing on Tuesday next week, so the French Open looked after him. But I think he just wants to get the monkey off the back, like that expression, monkey off the back, where he just doesn't want to go to the French Open with everybody talking about, is this the 100th? Or Wimbledon would be the worst, right? Going to Wimbledon again, being like 100th title? Is this the 100th title? What a fairy tale that'll be. I don't think he wants that attention. He just wants to be like, get the 100th title out of the way, and then I can actually focus on playing winning another slam. I think the whole pressure of is it going to be here? Is it going to be there? Is it going to be I think it's so smart for Djokovic just to get the 100th title out of the way. Tick that box, go play Wimbledon, go play the French, and just try and win those rather than trying to be do this other thing as well and blah, 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 I think it's smart. Jimmy Connors played his fair share of third-tier tournaments. Oh, so did Roger. So I have no problem with Djokovic trying to get 100 titles here. It doesn't matter if you win 100 250s or 100 Grand Slams. 100 is 100. I know that, but again, if we break it down, which we will if Djokovic wins, if we break it down, Djokovic has won more big trophies anyway. He hasn't done the 250 as much, right? So, again, I don't think if anybody is trashing Djokovic for trying to win a 100 title here, who cares? Now, Rafa didn't win 100 titles. Only 2 players in the history of tennis have won on the men's side 100 singles titles. Federer, and Connors. Djokovic trying to be the third in the Open era. Let me have a look at Djokovic's breakdown of titles. has he? How many? He's definitely won a couple of 250 events, but not many. Most of his titles are 500 and above. Which is super crazy because you would think that he would have won a couple of 250s, but he doesn't really play them. He's won 17 250 titles, which is not that many. Most of his titles, 60. So not 60, my bad. 12 250s, 40 1000s, 24 Grand Slams, of course, 7 ATP finals. So he's almost won more ATP finals than he has 250s. So again, who cares? He's won 15 500 events. So even if he does win this title, 250 still make up the least amount of titles in his career. Out of all the bunch, if you break him down per, it's still the lowest. He's not won that many. Look, and I don't want to, obviously Roger played a lot more 250s, but that's because he played Basel, I think was a 250 back in the day, or Halle was a 250. Like a lot of the titles that he was really good at, like tournaments that he was good at, weren't 500s at the time. So, and that's so Federer's, if you look, if we upgraded it would be different. Federer won 25 250s and 24 500s. So, more than Djokovic. But again, he won 103 titles. Nobody cares if it was 25 250s. It doesn't matter. 103 titles is still the second most of all time. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they were 250s. A quarter of them were 250. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. So let's see. And again, this is just even Djokovic winning 100 titles is not even anything to do with there's no GOAT, there's no debate, right? There's no GOAT debate anymore. It's over. Djokovic is the GOAT, right? It's just like a cherry on top of the achievements, right? Just like the gold medal was it was a cherry on top. It wasn't, if he doesn't win gold, his career is a mess. He won the gold medal. It was an added bonus to everything else he's done. And this 100 titles will be another added bonus, right? It'll be another achievement, right? It's not like the, if he doesn't win 100 titles, then he is not him. He's not him, Connor's won about 50% of lower ranked titles. Yeah, Connor's, it's hard to break down Connor's, Jimmy Connor's titles because, it was over a different era, a different period where there wasn't like the same breakdown of 250s and stuff. It was like a little bit all over the place. So it's hard to kind of define Connor's record over, depending, 250s and 500s weren't a thing, right? So it's a little harder to kind of like split Connor's achievements. But again, we shouldn't have to, right? It should just be like, what's the total? 109. Okay, that's the most. 103, second most. Djokovic, 99's third most, right? It shouldn't be don't need to consider how many per category, right? It should just be the total, which is what the record is all about. Talking titles, here's a crazy stat. Rafa has 63 hardcore clay court titles, and he hasn't lost a match on the surface. Where it hasn't? What? Oh, Rafa has more titles on clay than losses on clay. That's crazy. That is a crazy stat. That is. Federer was a Mickey Mouse title picker. See, okay, so this is the thing, right? If you come in with that energy and you start talking that shit, then those people that get pissed off at that are going to come in and say Djokovic doesn't deserve 100 after winning this title. So you started it. Then other people are going to defend Federer by shitting on him, Djokovic. So we don't start that at all. Respect Federer, respect Djokovic. Let's leave it alone. Federer won 103 titles. Doesn't matter if he won 25 250s. Djokovic, he's going to win 100 titles. Doesn't matter if it's a 250 on the 100th. But you are the problem. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Please. Respect Federer, celebrate Djokovic, and vice versa. Right? All right. Norrie's going to serve first, by the way. Also, Djokovic has to win 2 more matches before he wins 100. So let's not get crazy. Let's wait and see. Let's wait until he wins it, and then we'll go from there. All right. Here we go. Is it true Bredzik withdrew from Roland Garros? Yeah. Yep. So Bencic Raducanu, not happening. Which is a bit of a shame. All right, here we go. Norrie to serve. By the way, nice day in Geneva, which is nice. It's probably the nicest day it's been. Who's that famous lady? Probably a Swiss celebrity that I don't know. You actually watch your boys' 23-point win? Yeah, I went down to the pub and I watched the first half of the pub, the third quarter at McDonald's, and the fourth quarter at home. I did a bit of a tour of the. I went out for dinner. Watched the first half of the pub. Went to McDonald's for dessert. Watched the third quarter of McDonald's, and then came home and watched the fourth quarter here. As Djokovic hits that wide, it's 15 love. It was a good tour of the day. Don's won. Yeah, we won. It was close in the middle, but we won. Luckily, we won. If we lost, I would have been shattered. As the backhand return goes in the backhand of Norrie, Djokovic backhand slice into the forehand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand again to the forehand of Norrie. Another Djokovic forehand down the line. Norrie gets up on the stretch with a slice. Djokovic forehand to the backhand of Norrie, who goes to the volley of Djokovic. Norrie backhand again down the line. Is a winner. All right, Norrie came to play and the crowd are impressed. 30 love. All right. Norrie came to play. And chat, so this is, again, talking about Djokovic's 100 titles. It makes so much more sense to win this title and get it out of the way because, remember, he doesn't usually play warm-ups for Wimbledon. So, after this tournament, Djokovic has got the French Open, then Wimbledon, and then maybe Cincinnati, and then the US Open. So, there's not many opportunities to win 100 titles, considering Sinner on hard courts and, Alcaraz on clay and whatever. Like, this is the best chance Djokovic has got in the near future to win 100. Legitimately, as we had a 30 love score. Backhand goes into the forehand of Djokovic, into the forehand of Norrie, as Djokovic backhand again, the forehand of Norrie, to the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch, but he shanks it long and it's 40 love. Because realistically, is he going to win the French? Probably not. Is he going to win Wimbledon? Maybe. Is he going to win Cincinnati? Not if Sinner's playing like he is. If he's going to win the US Open, not if Sinner's playing the same as he was at the start of the year. And then after that, it's like the Asian swing. Does Djokovic play? Sometimes he doesn't. Does he play the end of the year? Like he didn't last year. So this might be the last time he plays a tournament like this, right? I mean, yeah, Belgrade's at the very end of the year, so maybe he wants to go there. But then again, last year he completely skipped the end of the year. Paris, ATP finals, all that stuff. So yeah, wasn't the score look right? Oh, what the hell? So yeah, like this is this would be his best chance of getting that 100. Again, considering that Sinner is the king of hard courts at the moment, and Alcaraz on clay, and Wimbledon's a lot of pressure at Wimbledon if you want to try and win 100 titles at Wimbledon. Try and get that tick that box at Wimbledon's crazy. All right, Djokovic wins the first game, 1 love. Sorry, Norrie won the first game. Djokovic hits a nice serve down the tee, and it's 15 love. He skipped to be better prepared for the AO. You don't need to make excuses. I'm not accusing Djokovic of skipping the end of the year last year as like a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what happened. I'm not accusing him of dodging anyone or doing anything. Like, you don't need to make an excuse. It's fine. Who cares why he did it? It doesn't matter. It's not that deep. You don't need to explain him. You know what I mean? Don't have to defend his choice. It's fine. We don't have a problem with it. Anyway, it's 30 love. Also, last year he won the Olympics. It's probably more likely that he was going to skip the end of the year because he won the Olympics and he's like, I'm tired. All right, 30 love. Just say, that's fine. That's fine. Anyways, 30 love. He's got a forehand out of the backhand of Djokovic into the backhand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand to the forehand of Norrie. Into the backhand of Djokovic. As Norrie backhand down the line. Great shot. Djokovic gets it with a slice. Norrie with a forehand winner, though. Jeez, Norrie is playing tennis today. 30-15. 30-15. Looks like you made it back from the MCG. Well done, Bombers. I didn't go to the footy. I went to the pub, which is a little closer, but yeah, I was so happy. I tell you, chat, pub. Going to the pub to watch the footy, it's a whole crowd. There's a different crowd there. Different crowd. It's good fun, though. It's good fun. Everyone's getting involved. It's fun. One lady was just yelling the whole time. It's hilarious. 40-15. You are the GOAT. I will steal a 70-inch TV from Walmart for you. Love from Belgium. Don't do that. Please. Don't do that. I don't need a TV. I got a TV. It's fine. Anyways, 1-1. Please don't commit a crime. Appreciate the nice words, though. Thank you from Belgium. What's up? 1-0. Yeah, dude, come on. Now committed felonies. What's up? 1-1. The return goes in the net from Djokovic. 15 love. 15 love. I like watching at McDonald's. Yeah, they had the footy on at McDonald's and I was eating an apple pie. It's great. As that goes out from Djokovic on the return. 30 love. Also, there's certain McDonald's in the area that have the staff put on a kick-ass playlist. Some places suck and the music sucks, but there's this one place where the staff that work there just know how to, they just got great music. They just put on great music. So you go in there, it's just like a whole party. They don't hate working at, they love working when they love it. They love working at McDonald's. I appreciate that. And it's great vibes. I listen to 2000s R&B and I was like, hell yeah, let's go. This is sick. 40 love. There's a return now from Djokovic to the forehand. Norrie. Norrie hits a winner. 2-1. Norrie holds. Yeah, it's got a great atmosphere for sure. Nope, can't show the match. Not even on a small screen. We'll get in trouble. And I'm not going to do that. Sorry. That is negative. A negative. Negative on that. All right. Is this match even a competition? It's 2-1. It just started. By the way, the answer is yes to that question because Norrie is not here to play nice. Are you kidding me? You think Norrie's going to come out here and be like, oh, by the way, yeah, Djokovic, I'm going to get out of your way so you can win 100 titles. No, he's like, I'm going to ruin your day. They're not friends. These guys have had their run-ins. And Cam Norrie ain't going to be just some pushover who's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to let Djokovic win 100 titles. Screw that. Norrie's like, I'm going to be a qualified champion. I don't give a shit about this. He doesn't care about Djokovic's achievements. He's not his friend. You know? I tried, thanks anyway. But thank you for trying. I can't do it, though. If I could, I would, but I can't. All right, 2-1. And Norrie has been hot this week. Oh, hell yeah. So let me tell you who Norrie's played this week because he come through the qualies. Norrie was top 10 not that long ago. So Norrie came through the qualies. He took out Brooksby in the qualies to get to the main draw. And then his draw was he beat Stricker in the first round. He beat Mahach in a retirement third set, but still got to the third. Beat Poprin yesterday. Very, very good matchup. And then got to here. And, of course, Djokovic got a bye in the first round. He took out Fucsovic and Analdi. So Norrie's played a hell of a lot more tennis than Djokovic this week. Winner plays Hurkacz in the final, by the way. Hubie made the final. Taking out Fritz and Ovner to get here. And Hurkacz hasn't dropped a set all week, so it's not going to be easy for whoever plays him in the final. The return goes into the forehand. Norrie on the stretch of the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie forehand. Into the backhand of Nole. Norrie forehand on the stretch again. Djokovic backhand goes down the line. Norrie's backhand cross. Djokovic puts up a lob. Norrie's on the attack and hits a smash away. And it's love 15. Norrie can win a set in this 3-setup. This could be a 3-setup. Norrie can and has won a set against Djokovic before. This ain't no joke. Do I play pickleball? No. I would get injured, and I don't want to get injured. I don't want to tear my Achilles hitting a plastic ball over a little net. All right, that's embarrassing. If I'm going to get injured, it's going to be proper. You know, I'm going to get injured by by playing rugby or something. Winner from Djokovic. My parents play pickleball though. They love it. 15-0. That's a bit asymmetry. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. As the return goes in the net. 40-15. 40-15. By the way, Raducanu is up a set against Haddad Maia. So she is doing well. It was a tough first set too. 9-7 in the breaker as that goes in the net from Norrie, and it's 2-0. By the way, chat, anyone else see Garcia with retiring? Are you surprised about Garcia calling it quits at the French? I'm not surprised at all. I feel like we spoke about this. Did we not talk about Garcia possibly retiring this year a couple of weeks ago? I swear we did. We talked about it, right? Because I remember we were talking about how she was, starting a podcast, and that felt like it was kind of like a transition out of tennis, and she's dropping down the rankings. Injuries have taken a hold. Maybe she wants to start a family. She just got married. I feel like we spoke about this not that long ago, so I'm not super shocked. I'm sad though because she's a great player to watch. I thought she said she would previously. I don't know if she has, unless she said it on a podcast, maybe. But it makes sense, right? She's obviously started another project so she can go into the podcast world. Too young to retire. I think she's like 30 or 32, which is not that young on the WTA side. As we get a volley from Norrie. Djokovic gets it with a backhand lob, but Norrie with a smash puts it away. 30 love. I think Garcia is sort of early 30s, which again, with her priorities being maybe looking towards family and, and those sort of things. 31. She turns 32 this year. And her ranking's 74 in the world. I understand it. It makes sense. Please don't put scores in the chat. This is really, really annoying. And so back in from Djokovic off the tape into the forehand of Norrie to the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie into the forehand of Djokovic. Oh, no, drop shot, Norrie. Okay, he fooled us all. 40 love. Garcia 3 years ago was number 3 in the world. And one of the best. It's kind of sad. Yeah. She's had a lot of injuries and, some disappointing results. But, all right, 40 love as Norrie hits it in the net. 40-15. 40-15. 31 and retiring. Yeah, that's normal. As we return now to the forehand of Norrie. Backhand now from Djokovic. Into the forehand of Norrie as Djokovic backhand. Into the backhand of Norrie. To the backhand of Djokovic as Norrie cross court in the forehand of Djokovic. Now down the line to the forehand of Norrie on the stretch. Djokovic backhand down the line. That's a great shot. Norrie puts up a lob though. Norway smash. Puts it away. 40-30. Do you think Coco will retire when she gets to her late 20s? No. I doubt it. Yeah, Bencic withdrew, which is a bit disappointing, but she'll probably do, if she gets healthier, like, she recovers from whatever injury she's got, she'll be a threat on grass for sure. Like, Bencic on the grass is going to be super scary, especially with 2 more weeks of practice. Norrie hits it out. Okay, we're at deuce. Anytime after 30 is acceptable to retire, to be fair. Yeah. And look, who's to say that Garcia doesn't retire, have a baby in the next year, and come back at 33, 34 anyway? I mean, just because you retire doesn't mean you can't come back. Like, players have done that, right? Kerber did that, didn't she? Wozniacki did it, right? I mean, she could start a family and then decide at 35, hey, I'm going to play again, because players do that. It's not uncommon. So maybe that's, you never know. She might come back. I mean, Cornet came back, right? She retired last year and she came back like 6 months later. So things can happen. Retiring doesn't mean the end for every player. It's a hiatus then. Well, no, she's retiring, but I'm saying that, she could come back. I don't think she's planning on coming back, but she might. I mean, you never know. Players come back. As Norrie in the net, we go back to deuce. Players do come back from retiring. It happens. All right, back to deuce. Tough game for Norrie. As the return goes into the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand from Norrie. To the backhand of forehand of Djokovic. As Norrie backhand goes long. Nole's got a break point. Advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic. Norrie was up 40-love in this game, by the way. As Norrie serves. Serve. The backhand of Djokovic. Backhand from Norrie. Goes in. Then Djokovic backhand to the forehand of Norrie. Into the back forehand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand. Into the Djokovic backhand as Norrie with a forehand again to the backhand of Djokovic. Into the backhand of Norrie as Djokovic backhand drop shot is in the net. And it's deuce. All right, we get the deuce. And the crowd are going, Nole, Nole, Nole. All right, we get back to deuce. As Norrie says a fault, second serve. Second serve, Norrie. As the return goes in the backhand of Norrie. Forehand from Djokovic. Again to the backhand of Norrie as Norrie hits it out. Advantage Djokovic to take the break. If Nole wins this tournament, is that a sign that the partnership with Murray wasn't working? I don't think so. I don't think that's a sign. Let me have a look. I'll tell you why. I'm going to defend Andy Murray. Norrie with an ace. Great serve. Down the tee. Deuce. So, Djokovic and Murray, they've been together since, or they were together from the end of last year to now, or to recently. They played Brisbane, which was a 250. Probably, I mean, Djokovic hadn't played for a while before that tournament, so, and then he came up against this ridiculous Opelka, right? They made the semifinals of Australian Open together. That's pretty good. Doha, he lost to Berrettini, which was a surprise. Indian Wells, he lost to Van der Zandschulp, which was a massive shock. Made the Miami final. Tabilo Analdi on the clay courts beat Djokovic, which was a little surprising, but Tabilo has beaten Djokovic before, and now he's not working with him here. So I feel like it was a semi-successful partnership. I mean, yeah, he had a couple of bad runs, but I feel like they made the semis together. They made the final of Miami. Probably should have won Miami, but still beat Musetti along the way. By the way, Djokovic beat Musetti 6-2, 6-2 in Miami. That's pretty crazy considering what Musetti is doing now, right? Musetti is on fire, right? After losing to Djokovic, Musetti went on a tear, and he's been amazing ever since. And now he's top 10. I mean, if we beat Musetti, if that Musetti is the same Musetti that's playing right now, which obviously it must not be, but Djokovic took out Musetti before Musetti is now like ridiculous, right? So we've got to remember that. Mensik obviously beat him. But like, should Djokovic have won a title under Murray? I mean, maybe Miami, but again, that's a 1,000 title. It's a huge title. Maybe he should have won Brisbane. I don't know. He wasn't going to win the Australian Open, I don't think, just because, Sinner was obviously there, right? Indian Wells, in Indian Wells, was Djokovic going to win that? Had he beaten Van der Zandschulp, would it have played out? I don't know. So I don't think, if Djokovic does win this, I don't think it's because Murray was around, he was losing. I don't think that's the reason why he wasn't winning, was because of Murray. I think it was just unlucky. It was just an unlucky partnership. Maybe just bad timing for both. Djokovic hasn't been playing his best the last 12 months, besides the Olympics and Wimbledon, right? And Murray jumped on board. If Murray had jumped on, at the start of 2024 and Djokovic started losing, that would have looked a lot worse. But because Djokovic wasn't playing great last year. So, him losing this year, it wasn't Murray. It wasn't because of Murray. It's just been a thing. 3-2 Norrie. It's just unfortunate timing that Murray didn't stick around for one more tournament. Had he have stuck around for this tournament, maybe he could have won that title. It would have been great to see them win Miami together. Win that 100th title. Andy's the coach. That would have been a great moment. But unfortunately, Mensik had other plans. Anyways, Norrie 3-2. As it a Djokovic backhand drop shot. Oh, was that in? What a shot.
This is going to be on Tennis TV.
All right. Nice drop shot by Nole. 15 love. Crazy. Yeah, he did retire from the Australian Open semis, exactly. I wonder if they felt it wasn't working, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if... We don't know the reasons. I mean, maybe Murray didn't want to travel as much. Maybe he realized it was too much of a commitment. Maybe Murray was the reason why they split, not Djokovic. Maybe Djokovic's results weren't the factor. It might have been that Murray didn't want to travel the world and be a coach, and he didn't go to every tournament, Murray, that Djokovic played. He did skip a few. We don't know the reasons. It might not have been just because Djokovic wasn't winning. Yeah, I mean, we might not know. Maybe Djokovic has other plans and he didn't want Murray to be... He goes, look, I'm not going to be playing that much longer. Maybe you want to go do something else. I mean, we don't know. Djokovic might... Something might happen in the future, in the next 6 months, and we might be like, oh, that's why he didn't want Murray to stick around, because he wasn't going to be around. He thought it'd be better for Murray to go and pursue other avenues because the coaching was going to stop anyway, because the players stopped. I don't know. We don't know. 3-0. Hidajima won the second set 6-1. Woo. Okay. All right. That's something. As the return goes into the backhand of Norrie. Forehand from Djokovic. Again, the back of Norrie. Djokovic forehand down the line. Norrie with a slice. Goes wide. And Nole is seriously in trouble if Djokovic is going to play this way. Love 15. Love 15. There's a bit of let. Norrie serves again. And the backhand slice goes out by Norrie, 15-all. I can't accept that Murray isn't a good coach. I'll tell you this, chat. I reckon Murray is going to be some sort of like director of Queen's Club or something. I feel like that's more of like a tournament director would be more suited for him. Something that doesn't involve traveling the world and, you know, busting your ass as much. Like, I feel like he would be way better suited at like doing that. Plus, they're naming a court after him anyway. So, I mean, they're already honoring him, right? But I could see him being a tournament director more than a coach. And if anything, a Davis Cup coach maybe, where you don't have to, like, you know, leave his young family and travel the world, right? He's already been doing that for his whole career. He doesn't want to... Murray seems like the kind of guy that just wants to chill. Just chill out and hang out. Because being a coach is basically being like a player. Like, you know, it's not... I mean, go watch the Alcaraz documentary on Netflix if you haven't already. Because that shows how much... Not just for the coach, for the physios, for everybody involved, you know? Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Thank you, Cambodia, for the 20. Appreciate that. All right, 15-30. Djokovic trying to break here. There's Norrie forehand. Oh, was in the... Oh, sorry, backhand in the net. It's 15-40. 15-40. Break points for Djokovic again. Kind of like Tommy Haas. Yeah, there's a lot of ex-players that are tournament directors. And I feel like Murray would be a good tournament director. Like, it would seem like that would suit him better. Like, it's not as much of a commitment to, you know, to playing, like, you know, to coaching, sorry. Or he might be a Davis Cup coach where he, you know, he'll focus on, you know, 3 or 4 times a year he'll have to travel, but he won't have to be on the road 12 months a year. 15-40. Djokovic is the winner, and there's the break. Norrie breaks 4-3. All right. All right. He should chill for a while, then in 6 years should become a tournament director at Wimbledon. I don't think that's... I don't think tournament director at Wimbledon is something that you just kind of get. I think that's probably a much harder process than just being like, hey, I want to be the tournament director now, please. I think Wimbledon would be one of the hardest ones to get. You'd have to probably be like, work your way up from... I mean, I don't even know how you even get the job. Murray could be the Queen's Club director to successfully make it a 1,000 grass tournament. I mean, maybe. They're already naming a court after him, so, you know. Do you think that Samsonova is underrated? She can be, yeah. Definitely can be. All right. Djokovic breaks 4-3. Andy's brother Jamie was the tournament director last year at Queen's Club. Really? Jamie Murray was playing and tournament director? That's wild. Is that true? Oh, he was... okay, so Jamie Murray has been named tournament director of Queen's Club Championships. He will continue to play in 2024, but at Queen's itself, but not at Queen's itself. Interesting. Okay. That's kind of interesting. So yeah, Andy's brother is already tournament director. So you wonder if Andy's going to be involved. Interesting. Interesting. I'll tell you what, he becomes tournament director, they bring in the ladies to play the tournament, and his brother gets a court named after him. I mean, that's pretty interesting. He's making a lot of things happen very quickly. Anyways, good volleys there from Nole, 30 love. Hey, Jonathan, thank you for the $1. Appreciate that. That's a bit of serve. Hit the back end of Norrie. 400 from Djokovic. Is a winner. 40 love. $40 love. $40 love. There's a bit of let from Nole. How's Nole's level? Pretty good. Pretty solid. What am I drinking? Coffee. I had a coffee after my dinner. So I've got the rest of it here. All right. That goes in there from Norrie, 5-3. By the way, Chad, I couldn't resist. I went to the thrift today. I couldn't help myself. I had to go, Chad. And I bought... I found the trilogy of Mummy movies in one cover, case, whatever. So I've got... And that was $2. So $2 for 3 movies. Crazy. And then... I also found this two, what was it? This double header, whatever, like, there was these movies called The Crawl and some other movie. No, 2 like kind of like creepy horror movies. So I got that for like $1. So it was on fire today. Yeah, double set. Yeah. That's it. So yeah, it was good. And I saw this painting, and it wasn't so much the painting that made it look that was cool. It was the frame the painting was in. It was this crazy I might even get it for this. Maybe I'll put one of these posters in this frame. It was a $65 painting. I might go get it tomorrow. But it was as big as one of the posters at the back here, and the frame was like this, like something you'd see in a museum. It's like, oh, that frame was a cool frame. So I might have to go there tomorrow. I was going to buy it today, but I was like, $65. What am I going to do with a random frame? But now I might use it. It's really cool. So I might just go get it for the frame. I want to see the painting though. I think it was like an oil painting. I'll have to check it out. 30-15. The Djokovic return goes wide, 40-15. What happened in Norrie's ranking? Let me tell you. 40-15 to make Djokovic serve for the set. So Norrie's ranking is 90 in the world. At the end of... So at the start of 2023, he was 12 in the world. Top 10 back in 2022 after that Wimbledon run, which kind of sucks because he made the semis of Wimbledon. He would have been way higher ranked because remember, Wimbledon 2022 was worth nothing. Norrie gets to the semis. He could have been like top 5 potentially. Maybe not top 5. But he would have been like well and truly in the top 10 had he got those points. Same with Kyrgios, right? He would have been close to top 10 had Wimbledon counted towards ranking, which, again, hindsight, it seems so silly that it wasn't. What a stupid idea. 40-30. That goes in the net from Djokovic. It's not, by the way, it's not a stupid idea that the ranking points were gone. It was a stupid idea that they banned the Russians that forced the ranking points to be taken away because it was... Remember, chat, Wimbledon 2022 was wild. Russian and Belarusian players got banned, and then the ATP and WTA were like, we don't approve of this. No ranking points. They had like a standoff, and in the end, all the players got screwed. So it didn't work. Like, I think they took the points away to kind of strong arm Wimbledon to making Russian players play again, and they said, no, we're not letting them play. And then, yeah. So the players that got to play didn't get points, and the players that and then there was a bunch of people that got banned. So it was just like, whatever. Norrie could have been, like I said, way higher ranked. So anyway, so Norrie, 2023 was number 13 in the world. He beat Alcaraz in the final of Rio. And then at the start of 2024 was when he started to decline. So at the start of 2023, he made the Australian Open third round. He won. He made the final of Auckland, but he also did really well at the United Cup for Great Britain. So he had a lot of points at the start of, and he also made the final of Buenos Aires. He made the quarterfinals of Indian Wells in 2023. 2024 comes around. He loses. He actually did all right in Rio semifinals to back it up, but he started dropping his ranking because he started to lose those points, right? Rome, he made the fourth round, lost to Djokovic in 23. Didn't do much after Wimbledon, or didn't even do anything at Wimbledon, really. And then his ranking really started to drop off. Again, at the start of this year, he was 49 in the world. Lost first round Auckland, first round Australian Open. He lost in Dallas pretty early. He lost Indian Wells third round. He lost in Miami first round. He did do well in Madrid and made the second round of Rome, lost to Medvedev. But yeah, his ranking just fell out of the sky after dropping points. Because he also didn't play in South America this year. So last couple of years, he's been playing the Golden Swing, where he plays the clay courts in Feb, like Alcaraz used to do. But this year, he didn't do that. And it didn't help because he lost second round Dallas, quarterfinals Delray Beach, first round Acapulco. So last year, or the year before last, he was making the finals and the semis and getting a lot of points from Rio, right? Because it's a 500. Decided to go the hard court route. Didn't work. So I'm sure next year he'll go back to try and get back to Rio. Get those points in Rio. Anyway, it's 15 love. Djokovic serving for the set. He hits a forehand cross court. And the backhand Norrie lob goes up. And then a smash into the backhand of Norrie to the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand pass. Djokovic volleys. Norrie pass goes wide. And Norrie gets the 30 love. Is Norrie 30? Norrie's only 29. Turns 30 this year. So he's still got plenty of tennis left. By the way, chat, is Norrie the most unappreciated player and I'm not saying underrated or like underestimated or anything. Underappreciated. Because I feel like when he was winning, doing well at Wimbledon, nobody gave a shit. Even the locals were like, he's not really British. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? He plays under the British flag. Support this man. Like, Norrie was like, it was always like Murray and Evans and Draper. And Norrie was like, he's not one of us. It was weird. It's weird as hell. He's not embraced by the country he plays for, which is crazy. I'm not saying all British people don't support Norrie, but I feel like Norrie is like he's not, like he is playing for Britain. Like, what the hell? 40 love. So I feel like is he the most underappreciated player who, under the flag that he plays for? By the people that are supposed to be his fans? He's not very likable? What do you mean? Seems like a nice guy. Ace down the tee, Djokovic wins the first set. No, Norrie's New Zealand, South African born, plays for the UK. Oh no, I feel like Norrie gets, like he made the semis of Wimbledon, right? He's been a top 10 guy, but it's like, it went from like Murray to Draper and everyone forgot about Norrie. Like Norrie didn't happen. It's weird. He's the least nice guy? How? By the way, if you're a Djokovic fan and you're like, he hit a ball at Djokovic one time, so he's a bad guy. Relax. If that's the only thing you're like, remember that one time he smashed a ball at Djokovic in Rome? Yeah, Norrie's a bad dude. Then I'm not listening to you because that's one thing that happened one time and a lot of people will do that. Watch doubles, you'll cry. Norrie had a chapeau run. Norrie deserved to make that semi-final, goddammit. We are fans. We are Norrie positive on this channel. We are Norrie positive. We are pro Norrie. We like Norrie. He's all right. Cam has got to be the only Norrie fan in the world. I don't get why he doesn't, like, I don't get it. Why do people not like him? He's got a great first name. Norrie beat Draper at Wimbledon last year. Yeah, exactly. Norrie is a Kiwi, not British. Sorry, mate. So you don't like Norrie because he's not actually from the UK. That's crap. Your whole cricket team's not British. What are you talking about? That's crap. Oh, he's not from our country. Well, when he's winning, he is, isn't he? I know how it works. Oh, he's not from here because he's losing. I know how it works. I lived in the UK for 2 years. You got plenty of South African cricket players. Hey, we do the same, but we don't disown players when they don't play well. We're like, oh, well, actually, nah, Maya Joint, she's actually American. We don't do that. We're like, okay, she lost. That sucks. She'll win the next one. We don't disown players for not being from Australia when they start to lose. That's not how it works. We ride or die. Norrie deserves... Wait, we'll take Norrie off your hands. Norrie, come to Australia. Be Aussie. Yeah, Kevin Peterson. I mean, there's a lot of South African cricketers in the English team. Norrie deserves better. He deserves more support. Love 15. First serve's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Norrie. Backhand out from Djokovic. Into the forehand of Norrie. As Djokovic backhand again to the forehand of Norrie. Again to the backhand of Norway. Norrie backhand cross. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Again the backhand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand goes in the net. All right, 15-all. All right. 15-all. As an Englishman, there is no question that Murray massively undermined and robbed Norrie of any traction and esteem he couldn't have had with this general success and popularity. Yeah. I mean, like, it was a lot to live up to. It was a lot to live up to. Every British player, you know, Evans, Edmund, right? There's a lot of players that had to were in the shadow of Murray. Even Draper, Draper early, but luckily Draper now is now that Murray's gone, Draper is sort of getting all the attention, right? And he's also winning, so that helps, right? All right, 40-15. Norrie to win the first game of the second. As he serves a fault, second serve. I mean, we had the same thing in Australia with Leighton. Leighton, when Leighton started losing or Leighton started getting injured, everybody was compared to Leighton. I mean, Kyrgios, Tomic, everyone was we're looking for everybody had to live up to Leighton, right? And it wasn't until probably, Demon or 2018 when we're like, oh, this guy could maybe fill those shoes somewhat, right? And even he hasn't filled those shoes, but he's filled them enough to make us happy. And then we got Barty back, obviously. Barty come in and we kind of, took over. We had Stozer as well back then. But, so I know how it works. I know how these things go. America hasn't really had... they've had a title drought, but I don't think America's really had a... America hasn't really had a proper title drought like the other countries with Grand Slams have. How long between Grand Slams has America ever had? I feel like, Serena definitely flew the flag, but I know Roddick was the last men's champion, but on the women's side, they wouldn't have gone a year without a slam champion. Maybe 2 years, maybe the last couple of years. That's been the last time, right? America's always had something to cheer about every year. Let's have a look. So, last year there was no champion. Gauff won the year before. No champion in 21-22, so 2-year period. There was a 2-year gap between Sloane Stephens and Sophia Kenin. 18, 19, America didn't have a slam on the women's side. And then it was like Capriati, Davenport, Serena, Venus. I mean, everybody, like 2011, no American champion. Interesting. So yeah, I think like 2 years. On the women's side though, you got to with Steffi and Salas, and before Salas became American, Steffi kind of there was a 4-year period in the 90s. Wait, hang on, 5 years. 5-year period in the 90s, but you had Sampras Agassi, so it didn't matter. And Courier, right? You didn't have to. It didn't matter if there wasn't any women's champion. The men were stepping up, right? So yeah, so like the longest period of time without a champion has got to be like 2 years. 40 love. Djokovic serving. Get on the board here. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. Second serve. As Norrie returns into the backhand of Djokovic. And he goes for a drop shot. And then Norrie puts it away at the net. 40-15. Good running from Norrie. Another little flick forehand cross-court winner. 40-15. 40-15. Djokovic holds with the serve, and it's 1-0. Yeah, and America had a champion this year, right? With Keys, right? So, again, it's very... like America's had like a 2-year title drought. A 2-year slam drought. Let's just pour one out for France. France haven't had a champion in decades, and that's both men and women. Bloody hard to be a French champion. I mean, Mauresmo, right? Bartoli, 10 years ago, right? One champion in the last, like, or two different champions in, like, the last 20 years? That's a rough patch. France has had it tough. Mainly because Rafa just beat the crap out of Gasquet when Gasquet was their hope, right? Tsonga was close. Monfils was there. I mean, God, France have had it the worst. I mean, I know that the Brits had it pretty bad for a couple of decades before that, but I feel like the last at least 5-10 years has been pretty good for the UK with Murray and Raducanu and now Draper. But France, I mean, shit. Monfils is there. I mean, Monfils was in the mix. That's what I meant by there. Like, he was in the mix with, those other guys. Gasquet was supposed to be the chosen one. He beat Rafa in the juniors. 30-15. And it's funny because Tsonga was kind of unheard of before he made Australian Open final. And everybody was talking about Gasquet and Monfils. And then Tsonga came out of nowhere and he did better than all of them, and he was the best of them all. So that goes out by Djokovic, 40-15. All right, 40-15. To take the lead again, Norrie. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return to the backhand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand into the backhand again of Norrie. To the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie forehand on the stretch in the net. 40-30. Fils is coming soon. I mean, look, Fils is definitely the... in line. He is the next in line. Humbert, I mean, he's there. I mean, Humbert could win Wimbledon. I feel like his best chance would be a Wimbledon. All right, Norrie holds 2-1. 2-1. Tsonga is one of those players who were denied a slam by the three greedy guys. I guess. Feast get a run at RG? Maybe. Winning Junior Grand Slam does not give certainty to pro circuit. I agree. That is true. The problem was Rafa, Roger, and Novak occupied the French for decades. Yeah, but I mean, the French Open, I'm not talking about French Open champion from France. I'm talking about a champion from France at any slam, you know. But you're right, the big three were the problem. But, you know, I'm not talking about a French champion. Just a champion. I think at this point they take a US Open champion. Like they, you know. Yannick Noah has French legend that the only player that won. Yeah, RG, exactly. All right, 2-1, Norrie. But chat, I mean, when you think of French players, I don't feel like I think of like clay quarters. Do you? When you're looking at French players, they're all like really good on indoor hard courts. Like, I don't feel like they're not. I mean, Spain is full of clay quarters, right? But when I look at France, I don't think, oh yeah, clay court. Even though they have the Roland Garros, which is the clay court event. It's weird, right? Yeah, grass and indoor hard courts, like the quick surfaces. They do have the Paris indoors, right, and a lot of indoor hard court events. But yeah, I don't think of like France clay quarters like I do with Spain or with like you know, even like I guess you could go with like sort of Croatia and that kind of region as well, right? Italy, you know, I feel like there's more clay quarters coming out of Italy. Mutte's a great watch. He is. But like, who would? I mean, there's no pure. Like, I feel like a lot of them are indoor hardcourt players that also can play on clay sometimes. Like, Feast is good on clay, but he's not a clay quarter. Humbert's not good on clay. Puricar is not really a clay guy. Monfils is a bit of an all-rounder, but I would say that he likes the faster courts, or at least he's performed better on like the hard courts, right? Recently, maybe because of his age. Mutte's got the craft of a clay quarter, so maybe he's the best clay quarter out of France, but Gaston is another one, maybe a bit more clay quarter. Again, a bit fancy, you know. But, holy shit, do they only have 5 players in the top 100? That's crazy. France only have 5 players in the top 100? That can't be right. All right, 15:30 here. Norrie looking for the break. But yeah, I don't feel like France is a clay court nation. Oh no, they got a heap. Bonzi, Ellis. Okay. Rindenish. Yeah, I don't really see, you know, many clay quarters out of France, which is, again, wild. Considering that they have Roland Garros. All right, 15:30. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. Was a double fault. Oh, my bad. 15:40. Norrie a chance to break. Norrie a chance to break. 15:40. As Djokovic serves another fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in the net from Norrie. 30-40. All right, 30-40. Still break point for Norrie. Did Emily Resmo reach number one? Yeah. I think she reached number one in like 2006. Pretty sure. All right, 30-40. Still a chance for Norrie to break. Djokovic serves in the forehand of Norrie. Return the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand into the forehand of Djokovic. The backhand of Norrie. And Djokovic backhand again to the forehand of Norrie. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand cross. Djokovic gets with the forehand. Into the backhand of Norrie. Again to the forehand of Djokovic as Norrie gets the break. Djokovic overhits it. All right. Norrie up 3-1 in the second. Here we go. That's kind of out of nowhere. All right. 3-1. Three to 1. As Djokovic returns the forehand to Norrie. Norrie hits it wide. Love 15. Why does Djokovic not get as much love from fans as Rafa and Roger do? We've spoken about this a lot over the years. I think it was just because I think by the time Djokovic got there, everybody already picked their favorite. You had two guys to pick from back in the 2000s. You could be a Federer fan or a Rafa fan, and then Novak came along and everyone and Murray, and everyone's like, we already picked our favorites. We don't have any more time. We don't need two more people, right? We've already got this guy or this guy, and people picked their favorite, or you picked Leighton Hewitt or Andy Roddick or whatever. But like, I think people already picked their favorite out of Rafa and Roger, and then Nole came along and was like, I guess. So, I think that was, and also like Djokovic didn't come. It's funny because Djokovic didn't come into tennis as like a brat or as a arrogant player or anything like that. He came in as a silly, fun guy, right? And he was making jokes and he was doing, having fun and doing impressions and like really trying to like entertain, and it wasn't until I guess some other players kind of were like, making fun of the fact that he got injured a lot, and then he took offense to that, and then the media kind of was like, this guy's a bad guy now. And it was, and he also, and again, back to the Roger Rafa thing, everybody loved Roger versus Rafa. And then Novak was the one who stopped that, and Murray, but mainly Nole, right? He would beat Federer, then play Djokovic and Nadal instead. And everyone's like, no, we want Federer and Nadal. So I think by that point, everybody wanted to see Nadal in the final of everything, and because, the Wimbledon final 08 was so good and they played so many epics, but Djokovic stopped that from happening, so maybe that's why people got pissed off too. That they were like, oh, this guy's ruining it. I want to see Federer versus Nadal. I don't want to see this Djokovic guy play these guys. I want to see Federer and Nadal. And Djokovic would ruin the party. And that may be another reason why people were like pissed off at him, For no reason, not his fault that he wanted to win. God forbid he wants to win. But 40-30. So yeah. And I think, like, again, going back to, I think the media also wanted Federer and Nadal to be the match of every tournament. And then when Djokovic would win, they're like, oh, Djokovic, he's the villain of the, he's the guy that's here to ruin everything. And you're like, that wasn't a nice thing to say. That wasn't a nice way to paint him, right? He wasn't there to ruin anyone's time. He was just trying to win, like everybody else who plays tennis. Djokovic hits it out 4-1. Had Djokovic had been around before Nadal came along and we had a Federer versus Djokovic rivalry before Rafa, maybe things would have been different. It would have been like, oh, Federer, Djokovic, love that rivalry, right? And then Nadal came along and maybe Rafa would have been the guy that everyone was like, nah, we don't need another one. We've got these guys, right? Just maybe bad timing as well. And then over the time, I think, people just decided to be like, well, we don't like Djokovic for no reason, for whatever reason they'd picked. But he came in the tour like not as a brat or anything. He came in as someone who was trying to entertain. and he still tries to entertain to this day, right? He still does fun stuff and does, is silly, is probably the least, when I say least serious, I don't mean he's not serious about tennis, but he's probably the least serious out of the bunch. Like, he doesn't take himself as serious as the other guys do. Like, Rafa and Roger, they present themselves a certain way. They can, have a joke about, they can laugh at themselves, but Nole is the guy who's he's the one who wants to, he'll dance on court, he's way less serious and takes himself less serious than the others guys. Which, again, I don't know why he wouldn't get more fans for that, Why wouldn't people like that? Because that's a good trait, 4-1. But Rafa's just 1 year older. But Djokovic, unfortunately, he's 1 year younger. So had Djokovic been, let's say, 2 years older than Rafa and peaked a little bit earlier, then maybe maybe it would have been a Roger Nole rivalry, and then Rafa would have come along after that. But, Anyways, Djokovic is down 4-1. As Norrie returns into the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand from Norrie. Into the backhand of Nole. Now, Nole was down 4-1 yesterday in the second. He came back to win 5 games in a row and won the match. So, let's see. Lovely drop shot from Norrie. And then a smash put away. All right. Norrie's on fire. Love 15. All right. Love 15. Love 15. Also, Rafa was an incredible teenager. Oh, yeah. Djokovic started playing his best tennis and became a real threat when he was, 20 years old, right? Rafa was a threat from 16. So Nole was always behind. He was always behind Rafa, even though he's only 1 year younger. He was always he was never going to be able to. He was all Rafa started first. Rafa was first, right? Roger was back in 2001, 2003. So he was the oldest of the bunch, and he also got the head start on everybody on the decade when Pete and Andre retired. And then Rafa peaked incredibly early, or started kicking ass very early. And then by the time Nole came along, and it took him a couple of years to get him going, it was 2008. And by then, everybody already picked their favorite, right? So, yeah, it's just rough. It's rough. But again, I think people might be a bit more nostalgic now, maybe, because he's the last of the era. When Stan retires, I feel like that will also help Djokovic's, popularity, if that even matters. Anyways, 15-0. As Norrie forehand to the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie can't get that one. Nole puts it away, 30-15. $30-15. $30-15 is going to serve again. As we default second serve. By the way, Raducanu is up 5-2 in the third against Haddad Maia. Tell you what, Raducanu winning in Strasbourg would be really, really interesting. Especially going into the French when no one's talking about her. As that goes out by... Sorry, goes in the net by Djokovic. 30-all. 30-all. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve into the backhand of Norrie. Djokovic backhand to the slice of Norrie. Into the forehand of Djokovic. As Norrie goes again, the forehand of Djokovic. The forehand of Norrie is Djokovic forehand on the stretch. To the slice of Norrie. And then Djokovic into the forehand of Norrie on the stretch. Can't get it this time. It's 40-30. 40-30. Djokovic to stay in this set. Remember yesterday, he broke a racket at 4-1, won 4 games in a row, and he said in the press conference or in the interview that it helped him. He's like, well, I won 5 games in a row after I broke a racket, so I mean, what are you going to do? Anyways, good serve out wide, and it's Djokovic holds 4-2 Norrie in the second. 4-2. No, Norrie serves. A fault. As the return goes into the slice of Djokovic, Norrie comes in with a lovely backhand volley, and it's 15-love. Making Spartacus comparisons when Nole lied his way into Australia. Okay, bro. 15-love. Seven to the forehand. Djokovic return goes in from Nole. 15-all. As Norrie serves again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Djokovic hits it wide on the return. 30-15. As we return now into the forehand of Norrie, but Norrie shanks it wide. 30-all. Chance for Djokovic to get the break back. 30-all. Yeah, mods, can we get rid of the score? By the way, Daniel, you're here every day and you did that. Come on, man. You know the rules. What the hell, man? 30-all. You don't reply otherwise? Stop being an attention seeker. As it a forehand now to the backhand of Norrie. Norrie hits a winner, 40-30. You don't reply to me. So I had to break the rules. Well, you can take 5 because that's crazy. You know the rules and you broke them. I can understand if you're new here and you didn't know the rules, but Jesus, you know the rules. And you just wanted some attention? That's crazy. That's crazy. Come on, be better. 40-30. Serve again. To the backhand of Nole. Backhand from Norrie. Into the forehand of Djokovic. As Norrie backhand. Down the line. Djokovic gets it on the stretch. Into the forehand of Norrie. As Djokovic on the attack, but Norrie still in the rally. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Again, the forehand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand of the stretch. Norrie comes in. No, he doesn't. He runs back, lets it bounce, and hits a smash, and hits a winner. Great bounce smash, and Norrie's throwing the fist. 5-2 Norrie in the second. All right. Norrie came to play. He was playing well in the first set. He just slipped up on the break. But this second set, Norrie's playing. He came to play. All right, 5 2. Norrie in the second. All right. Raducanu is about to win. Pardon me. Yes, she is. She's 2 points away. Who is winning RG Cam? Alcaraz. He must not start till Monday. I think Djokovic plays on Tuesday. So the schedule shows that on Sunday, we're going to have Sabalenka. Monday is going to be stacked. Monday is going to have Sinner, Alcaraz, Swiatek, Osaka, Badosa. Monday is going to be crazy. And then Tuesday, I think it's Djokovic. I think Djokovic plays on the Tuesday. So he won't have to play till then if he does wins this title. So, but yeah, Monday's crazy. Monday is crazy. And it's very rare that we watch Sinner and Alcaraz on the same day, but we're going to get it on Monday. So yeah, I'll tell you the schedule. So top half of the men and bottom half of the ladies. Top half of the men are going to play Monday, Tuesday, which means Djokovic, who's up the top with Zverev and Sinner and Draper, they're all playing on Monday or Tuesday. And I think I looked at the schedule for Monday, or like a rough idea of who's going to play. Djokovic wasn't on the list. Neither was Draper, so Draper will be on Tuesday as well, I think. And then Monday is the bottom half of the men. So Sunday, I don't think anyone's playing Sunday except for Musetti, like any big names. And then on Monday, you've got Alcaraz and a bunch of other players. I think Runa as well. So, yeah. So Monday is crazy. And then on the women's side, Monday is the bottom half of the draw. So on Monday, Tuesday is the bottom half of the draw for the ladies. So you're going to have... but hang on, how does that work? Oh, sorry. Sunday, Monday is top half of the ladies. So you got Sabalenka on Sunday, Swiatek on Monday. And then the bottom half of the ladies, so Gauff and the bottom half of the men and the women's draw is very open. Like it's very, there's not many players down the bottom that are like there's a couple of names, but the top half of both draws are crazy. So, so that's good even spread then, because that means the second half of every other day, you know, it's either going to be men's crazy or women's crazy. So we're not going to have like the men and women's day crazy and then nothing on the other day. So it's actually nicely spread out. The bottom half of the draw for both men and women are pretty open. There's only like a handful of players that we expect to make it through, right? All right, 30-15. Djokovic trying to hold. But anyway, so yeah, Sabalenka on Sunday, and then on Monday is crazy, and then Djokovic will play Tuesday. Raducanu wins. Nice. As a return goes in the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie forehand. Into the forehand of Djokovic. And he overhits it. 30-all. All right. Norrie is 2 points away from taking us to a third. Do you think Jannik and Carlos will play day session on Monday? One of them will play night session. I don't know who, but I'm sure one of them will play night session. Because usually the way the French Open works is there's one night session every day for the first like 11 days or 12 days. And they usually try and get... And I'm going to say it's going to be Sinner because he's playing a Frenchman. So I'm going to say that Sinner on Monday will be playing night session because he's playing Rinderknech. They usually get either a big name or locals. So I'm going to say that it's probably going to be Sinner night session against Rinderknech because of the French opponent. Anyways, set point for Norrie. Nolly? Who? Serve and volley from Djokovic, but no volley required. We get the deuce. On night one, let's have a look. Who's playing on night one? I mean, Sabalenka could play the night session on day one, but I doubt she'd want to. I'm sure they're going to go with a French player on day one. As Djokovic serves big down the tee, and it's advantage Djokovic. Actually, not that many players not many French players are playing on Monday. on the women's side, maybe on the men's side. Maybe Musetti gets the night session if he plays a French quali. Djokovic with the advantage. Maybe Pirikar Bergs. I don't think that's center court. Most likely going to be like Feast or someone, but he's not playing on day one. Anyways, Djokovic holds, and Norrie's going to serve for the second. There's not that many French players, so maybe Sabalenka will get the night session. I think it's going to be either Musetti or Sabalenka play night one. Musetti or Sabalenka it would be. Unless they put Pirikar on night one. But that would be kind of strange, I think. Because, especially if Musetti wants to play. Or maybe Zhang versus Pavlyuchenkova, a night session day one. That could be a thing. Paolini versus Yuan night one, maybe. Okay, maybe they give Paolini the night session. I think Zhang Pavlyuchenkova seems like that should be a night session. Right? Because a former finalist versus the gold medalist. That seems kind of like a no-brainer. Also, Zhang doesn't mind playing at night, I'm sure. So maybe she'll play Pavlyuchenkova at night on night one. If Sabalenka doesn't want to play night one. Because I think she'll get asked first. And if she doesn't want to play night one, they'll avoid that. Anyways, love 15. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm sure, tomorrow the schedule will come out tomorrow. That goes out by Norrie, love 30. Just imagine Norrie Hurkacz final. There would be literally zero media interest and barely any spectators. No, there'll be people there. Definitely people will be going to the final, even if it's not Djokovic. As we just serve another backhand of Djokovic. Backhand up from Norrie to the forehand of Djokovic. Into the forehand of Norrie as Djokovic backhand cross. Norrie gets on the stretch. But Djokovic forehand cross court. Norrie gets there again, but Nole with a smash. And Norrie hits into the crowd. Oof. Watch out. Love 40. Norrie in trouble. What's going on, Alex? How you doing? Love 40. Love 40. Serve again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes in. Norrie comes in with a forehand, and then Djokovic puts up a lob, but it's out. 15-40. $15-40. $15-40. Serve again to the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand from Norrie. Into the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch. Norrie with a forehand inside out winner. Beautiful shot. 30-40. Still break point. Djokovic did not lie in Australia. He was honourable. Australia invited him. The court supported Djokovic's claims. The minister pulled the minister card, which overrode the legal case. Yeah. 30-40. If anybody is still talking about that in 2025, that's crazy. As the return goes into the forehand of Norrie in the net. We get the break back. And when I say talking about it, I mean in a way of saying like Djokovic, like I get like if you're defending Djokovic that he shouldn't have got banned, totally agree with you. I totally get it. But like, and that he was robbed of the Australian Open that year, I agree. But anyone who's like, talking about like Djokovic lied and that's why he was banned, it's like, no, he didn't. No, it wasn't true. What are you talking about? It was 3 years ago. Nole is over it. Well, maybe not over it, but we move on. And he went and won the Australian Open the next year. We came back and won 3 out of the 4 slams the next year anyway. Because remember, he also wasn't allowed to go to the US. He just didn't get invited to the US under the thought that he could play. That's what happened in Australia. They said, yeah, you can play, just come to Australia. And he's like, okay, I guess. And then he got here and they all went, no, you can't be here. Just sucks. Sucks that he was told that he could play. Because he wouldn't have come here if he couldn't play. If they said, no, you're not allowed to play, he wouldn't have even got on a plane. Why would he bother? You know what I'm saying? And you're right, he did win the case to play, but then they went, we can't have this. And that's crazy. But why is bro molding about something that happened years ago? Just get over it. Yeah, I don't know why people are still talking about it. 5-4. Djokovic back on serve. Five-4. Still, Norrie leads. As we just serve from Djokovic. Here's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Norrie, and Norrie hits it out. 15 love. 15 love. Norrie's Lola. All right, 15 love. Serve again. As with a fault, second serve. Second serve. As a return goes in the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie on the stretch. To the forehand of Djokovic. As Norrie backhand into the forehand again of Djokovic. To the forehand of Norrie. As Djokovic to that Norrie backhand. As Djokovic goes again to the forehand of Norrie. And Norrie puts away the winner. 15-0. All right, 15-0. And just serve again. Serve again. So we're back in his first final since Stuttgart last year. Wow. As a return from Norrie goes the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie puts away the winner, 30-15. As we had a fault from... No, it was in by Djokovic. Norrie on the stretch. As we had a forehand now to the backhand of Norrie. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie on the stretch. And Djokovic comes in and puts away the forehand. 40-15. Hey, thank you, Xiong, for the 5 months. Thank you so much, Cam and folks. Hope you're doing well. Hey, hope you're doing well too. Thanks for sticking around. 40-15. Djokovic for to level at 5-5. As he serves a fault. Second serve. And the return by Norrie. is out, and Djokovic holds 5-all. Now, it feels like a long time ago when it was 5-2 a set point for Norrie. It feels like that was a long time ago. Norrie could have won this set 6-2. Now it's 5-all. As the return, goes in the back end of Norrie. Norrie hits a winner. Norrie still fired up, though. Good to see. 15-all. Sorry, 15-love. Lovely backhand winner. 15-love. There's a bit of fault from Norrie. Second serve. To the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie with a forehand again to the backhand of Djokovic. Down the line of the backhand of Norrie on the stretch. Djokovic again to the backhand of Norrie. To the forehand of Djokovic is Norrie backhand. Again the forehand of Djokovic into the Norrie backhand. Norrie overhits it. 15-all. As he serves a fault, Norrie, second serve. The return goes in to the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand from Norrie down the line. Djokovic on the stretch. Goes in. Norrie steps up for a smash. Hits it straight to Djokovic. Slices it back. As Norrie forehand cross. Djokovic backhand lob. Oh, and Norrie hits a shank smash that lands in. And he says sorry, but he'll take it anyway. And the crowd's like, ooh, you were lucky. They know he was lucky. All right, Norrie gets to 30-15 with a very shonky smash. All right, 30-15. And then he serves an ace and a roar from Norrie. And he gets to 40-15. Good serve again, Norrie. And the return goes out. Norrie holds. Djokovic is going to have to play a tiebreak if he's going to win this match in straights. 6-5 Norrie. Norrie's a beast. Yeah, Norrie is stubborn. He is so stubborn. A shonky smash. Do you not know the word shonky? Is that not a word that people use? That's a word, right? Shonky. Isn't that a word? Yeah, it means unreliable or unsound. Yeah, shonky. Like dodgy. It's like a dodgy smash. He didn't mean it. Like a shanky smash. Kind of, yeah, like shank. Sounds great. Never heard of it, but I like it. It's a word. It's a real word. It's an Australian word. Yeah, it's in the dictionary. So it must be. It's a word. An example of what shonky means. Ready? It's embarrassing that a supposedly world leader country has such a shonky infrastructure. Does that make sense? Another example. Now I don't even hesitate deploying the same shonky economics. Okay, I don't know. They're using too many big words. Yeah, shonky just means like dodgy. Unreliable. Shonky, shanky, we use it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. We used it Australian. It's an Australian thing. Anyways, 6-5. No, not chunky. Shonky. 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 Shonky is a word. It's an Australian word, yeah. Anyways, Nole serving to take us to a tiebreak. He serves an ace. 15 love. 15 love. Serve again. As the return goes into the forehand of Djokovic. And Djokovic in the net. 15-all. 15-all. Mia. She's asleep. Or she's ignoring me. Serve to the back and a Norrie return goes wide. 30-15. Serve again. Has been a good serve down the tee. Djokovic watches the ball fly long. And it's 40-15 to take us to a tiebreak in the second set. All right. 40-15. Has been a fault. Second serve. Double fault. And it's 40-30. Serve. Here's another fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Norrie. Return the forehand of Djokovic, who puts it away. Tie break.
And now it's time for the tie-break game.
All right. Here we go. Time for the tie break. Can Djokovic get it done in straights? Who you got, chat? Let me know. Who you got? Who have you got? A lot of people going with Djokovic. Remember, Norrie was up 5-2 with a break. And also, with a chance to get the set, he had a set point at 5-2. Okay. Norrie serving first. Serve to the forehand of Djokovic. Return. Into the forehand of Norrie. As Djokovic backhand. Into the forehand of Norrie. Down the line of the forehand of Djokovic on the stretch. Djokovic is it out. 1-love Norrie. 1-0 Norrie. All right. 1-0. All right. Serve again. Into the backhand of Norrie. Forehand from Djokovic to the backhand of Norrie. Again, the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand. Into the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch. Who goes in the net? 2-love Norrie. 2-0 Norrie. Norrie gets the mini break. Djokovic serves again. To the backhand of Norrie. Return into the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie. Down the line. Djokovic with the forehand on the stretch. Norrie goes cross-court with his forehand to the backhand of Djokovic. Into the forehand of Norrie as Djokovic forehand again to the backhand of Norrie. Into the forehand of Djokovic as Norrie again to the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand cross-court. Djokovic gets it with the forehand again to the backhand of Norrie. And Norrie hits it out. Djokovic on the board. 2-1 Norrie with a mini break. 2-1. 2-1 Norrie. All right, 2-1. As we to serve again. And the return goes into Norrie to the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of Norrie again, the backhand of Djokovic. There's Norrie with a forehand into the backhand of Djokovic. To the backhand of Norrie on the stretch, but he can't get it. Djokovic back on serve, 2-2. 2-all. Two all. Nice hitting from Nole. As Norrie serves again. And the return goes into the backhand of Norrie. Forehand from Djokovic again, the backhand of Norrie. To the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch. Norrie drop shot. It's too good. And Djokovic gives him a round of applause. He's like, yeah, you got me. All right, 3-2 Norrie. He stays in the lead. 3-2 Norrie. All right, 3-2. Serve. There's a fault by Djokovic. Second serve. Serve again. Into the forehand of Norrie. Return is wide. It's 3-all. They change ends. 3-all in the tiebreak. Winner plays her catch in the final tomorrow. 3-all. Marmite and lettuce. That's disgusting. How dare you? Marmite is already terrible. Then you put it with lettuce? What do you mean Marmite and lettuce? That's nasty. What you doing? It's crazy. And it's 3-all. The hell are you talking about Marmite? All right. 3-3. Serve. Serving to the backhand of forehand of Norrie, forehand from Djokovic to the backhand of Norrie. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie on the stretch to the backhand of Djokovic. Again, the forehand of Norrie. And Djokovic backhand to the backhand of Norrie. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie backhand again. To the forehand of Djokovic. Down the line's good. Norrie gets it, but hits it out. 4-3 Djokovic. And he roars after that. 4-3. Great hitting from Nole. And he's fired up. I tell you, he looked at Norrie when he shouted too. Because Norrie's been a bit yappy. Norrie's been fired up looking at Nole. And now Nole's like, I'll yell at you too. This is as spicy as it gets for Nole. Nole doesn't have too many beefs, but this is a little bit of one. They're not friends. 4-3, second serve Norrie. Second serve. Serve to the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes out. It's 4-0. Djokovic getting a little bit pissed off at that return. He's not happy there. 4-4. Four all. Norrie serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Djokovic. Return goes short. Norrie forehand. Goes out. And Djokovic gets the mini break. 5-4. And he is going to serve for the match. Bad miss by Norrie. It's a bit of a shank return by Djokovic, but Norrie, yeah, it had a lot of... It definitely was a shank because when it hit the ground, it kicked into Norrie and Norrie wasn't ready for it. It looked like it was going to be a short ball, but the top spin that generated from the shank was real awkward to control. All right, 5-4. Djokovic serving the match. Yeah, it was a bad miss by Norrie, but you can understand why he missed it because it kind of kicked up on him and he wasn't ready for it. He didn't expect the spin. As a return goes in from Norrie to the backhand of Djokovic, who hits a drop shot, but it's in the net. 5-all. Norrie's still around. 5-5. 5-all. Djokovic serves again. Serve again. Into the backhand of Norrie. Return the forehand to Djokovic. Norrie puts up a lob. Oh, it goes in. Djokovic. Wait, did it go in? No, it went out. Jeez. Djokovic let it bounce, but it went long. Just. Ooh, just. Anyways, match point Djokovic. Match point to put himself in the final. Take Hurkacz on tomorrow to win that 100th title. 6-5. Norrie serves. To the backhand of Djokovic. Return the net and 6-all. They change ends. They change ends. All right, 6-all. Now, Norrie did have a set point at 5-2 in this second set. He was 30-40. He had a set point, and then Djokovic came roaring back. Let's see what he can do here. All right, 6-all. As Norrie serves again. Into the backhand, Djokovic. Good return. Norrie gets it. As Djokovic backhand again to the backhand of Norrie. Into the backhand of Djokovic. As Norrie with a forehand to the backhand of Djokovic. Again, the forehand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand now. Into that Norrie forehand as Djokovic cross court. Norrie gets there with the backhand. Djokovic with another forehand down the line. Norrie gets on the stretch. Goes in. Djokovic forehand goes again to that Norrie forehand. Again to the forehand of Djokovic. To that Norrie backhand as Djokovic. Another forehand. Goes wide, and it's 7-6. Norrie. Set point number 2. Cam, please, which fan are you? Messi or Ronaldo? Bro, what are you talking about? It's a tie. It's 6-all in the tiebreak. What are you saying? What are you asking me stupid questions? 7-6. What's that got to do with this match? Nothing. 7-6. Set point for Norrie. Remember, Djokovic did have a match point. As Djokovic does a fault. Oof. Halfway up the net. Second serve. Second serve. I'm going to flame someone in the chat in a minute. Second serve. Into the forehand, Norrie. Return to the backhand of Djokovic. He hits it out. We're going 3. Norrie steals the second. Don't put scores in the chat. 7-all my ass. Get that guy out of here. Get him out of here. All right. What are you doing? You're putting scores in the chat that aren't even right. Stop doing it. You've been timed out 5 times. You should learn your lesson. All right, we're going 3. We are going 3. Get him out of here. All right. Norrie takes it and saves a match point along the way. We are going 3. All right. We are going to a third. Can Norrie stop Nole? That would be scary. All right. How many sets of this match? 3. 3 sets. Whoever wins this set wins a match. Norrie saved me big time. Okay. He's going to have to work for that 100th title. Hell yeah. Is Djokovic playing Roland Garros? Yes. He'll be playing on Tuesday. Most likely on Tuesday. Last night I discovered Tim Tams in my local grocery store in LA. Ate the whole packet in minutes. Yes! Love that. They're addicting. They're crazy. Tim Tams are goated. I might have to get some Tim Tams tomorrow. All right. Here we go. Well, Cam did say Norrie could win a set, but didn't mention the match. Thank you for giving me half credit. I appreciate it. Penguins in the UK are better than Tim Tams? You are delusional. You are delusional. You are lying to yourself and everybody in the chat. You are delusional. Tim Tams a what? Mick, you gotta use words that I understand. Tim Tams are not real chocolate. I'm sorry, we're not having a debate on whether they're not real chocolate. We're having a debate on whether they're the greatest thing on earth. And the answer is yes. And penguins can get stuffed. You throw that out. Tim Tams. Always. Penguins are nice, but Tim Tams are way nicer. Thank you. Look, penguins are fine. Penguins are fine. But they aren't Tim Tams. They're not Tim Tams. You haven't even tried a penguin? Bro, I lived in the UK for 2 years. All right. Djokovic to serve. Is this match of the year? No. Not yet. I mean, it could be if it goes to a tiebreak in the third, but... All right, Djokovic serving first in the final set. As we let. Michelle says, Tim Tams over Penguins and I lived in the UK. See? If you know, you know. Anyone who says Penguins are better than Tim Tams has never had a Tim Tam. You're just saying Penguins because you're patriotic. All right, 15 love. Penguins have jokes? Yeah, Tim Tams don't need jokes. You're too busy eating them. To read, you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing on earth. And then you go into a coma, like a chocolate coma, and you don't have time to read. Like, you don't need, like, Tim Tams don't need jokes. All right, 15 love. There's a forehand now to the back end of Djokovic. Forehand now. Nope. Nole hit the line. 30 love. Is the UK okay? UK is great. What's a penguin? I'm not gonna be a smart ass. It's a delicacy in the UK. It's a cookie. Cam talk too much, bro. That's what the channel's. It's literally got the word talk in it. 40% of the channel name is talk and Cam. Like, what do you want from me? It's not silence and somebody else. Like, what are you saying? Cam talk too much. No shit. 40 love. That's the point. Djokovic serves again to get the first game of the third. As we return now to the forehand of Djokovic, he puts it away. 1-love Nole. First he takes your legs, then your soul. True. Stop openly supporting Norrie. Makes Nole fans feel worse. What? I picked Djokovic to win. What do you want from me? Stop openly supporting Norrie. Okay, whatever. All right. I come here for the DVD recommendations. Well, you can stay because we have bad life choices with Cam Williams. Bro. Okay. All right. 1-love Djokovic. One love. As we do a forehand now to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand from Norrie to the backhand of Djokovic. Into the backhand of Norrie on the stretch. Norrie in the net. Love 15. Love 15. As Norrie serves again. A fault. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand from Norrie. Into the backhand of Djokovic is Norrie with a forehand. And eventually, Norrie hits it wide. Love 30. Love 30. Chance for Djokovic to get the break. Early in the final set. There's been a fault. Second serve. Oh, double fault Norrie. Love 40. Love 40. Serve again. Norrie trying to hang on. But Djokovic has 3 break points. As a return, goes in the forehand of Norrie. He hits a drop shot. Djokovic gets it with a backhand. And hits a winner down the line. 2-love. No, he missed it. I lied. I'm sorry. I thought it was in. Did that not go in? We bring back the lines, people. Oh, I hit it long. Norrie serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve, the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie forehand. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Norrie on the stretch. Goes in the forehand of Djokovic. Is Norrie with a backhand on the stretch again. Djokovic forehand down the line. Norrie's got it. And hits it long. Now he breaks. It's 2-love now. Now it's 2. I was just 1 point ahead. 2-love. 2-love Djokovic. Sorry, Chad. I forgot that there was a point before the break. Sorry. My bad. All right. 2-0. Norrie takes the break. As Djokovic serves again. All right. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 240. 240K. So thank you for that. 250 by the end of the year. Cam shonked it. Don't use my word against me. 15 love. It was a shonk. There was a shonky commentary, right? I missed. It was my bad. My bad. 30 love. Love. 30 love. And Djokovic serves again. He serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Norrie. To the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie forehand goes long and it's 40 love. Love. As he serves a fault, second serve. As the return goes in, the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie shanks it wide, and it's 3 love. Djokovic final set. When was the last time Djokovic won a 3-setter? Ooh. Great question. He won a 3-setter. Not including the Australian Open. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a long... last year, I'm going to say Shanghai, right? Yeah, he lost it against Mensik in Shanghai. Lost the first set, came back to win. That was the last time he played a 3-setter. He did play last time he won a 3-setter. Last time he played a 3-setter, he did play Van der Zandschulp. Lost in 3 this year, but yeah. He is... it's been a minute since he won a 3-setter. I mean, even last year, he didn't win that many 3-setters. Have a look. So yeah, in the last 12 months, he's only played 2 3-setters. Outside of slams. Obviously, slams are 3, but yeah. And he's won 1 and lost 1. Last year, he played 6. He lost to Ruud, Nardi, Mahac, but he beat Lehechka, Vukic, and Mensik. And then this year he's only played 1 3-setter, and that was against Van der Zandschulp, and he lost. That's kind of crazy. Okay. He's up 3 love in the third. Does anyone propose you do your own show? What do you mean? What, like this? What do you mean? Do my own show? Like, I don't understand. All right. Norrie on the stretch. Djokovic forehand is long, and it's 15 love. Is there someone to stop Novak now? I think the only way that Djokovic doesn't win this title is if he gets nervous in the final and he realizes the moment. Like, he has like a 2021 US Open kind of, moment, but I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to get to the final tomorrow and play Hurkacz and get nervous. Because, again, it was different in Miami where it was like a 1,000 title and, it was a big, big deal and going into that final with that stuff. But I feel like tomorrow there's not going to be as much hype around Djokovic trying to win the 100th title in a 250 as there was in Miami. Obviously, it's still a big deal, but I don't think it's going to be as much attention because everyone's looking at the French. Nobody's even watching this week, right? French Open, everyone's focusing on the French Open. Everybody will be talking about Roland Garros day one. And it's a little bit under the radar, this. And maybe that's what he wanted, right? That's probably a good idea, right? The spotlight's not on Djokovic really at the moment because Roland Garros is coming up. So he's kind of played it perfect, Djokovic. As he hits that out, and it's 3-1, Norrie on the board. Three, 1. Two hours this match is taken as well. All right. As we got a fault second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Norrie. Norrie in the net. 15-love. Love. Has a bit of fault from Djokovic. Second serve. Second serve. As a return goes into the forehand of Djokovic. Norrie with the backhand on the stretch. Into the forehand of Djokovic. As Norrie, again to the backhand of Djokovic. Drop shot's very nice by Nole, and Norrie can't get there. Beautiful drop shot. All right, 30-love. 30-love. Djokovic serves again. As Djokovic serves. Into the forehand of Norrie. Backhand now Djokovic. Into the forehand of Norrie. To the forehand of Djokovic. As Norrie to the backhand of Djokovic. To the forehand of Norrie on the stretch. Djokovic backhand is a drop shot. Norrie's going to get there this time. But Djokovic is also there with a backhand winner. 40-love. 40-love. $40-love. Yeah, Norrie's a qualifier. Cam, do you still stick with your prediction? What are you asking me? What prediction? As with a serve. Into the backhand of Norrie. Forehand from Djokovic. Into the forehand of Norrie on the stretch. Djokovic forehand down the line. Norrie's got there with a backhand. Djokovic drop shot. Norrie gets there. But hits it wide. 4-1. 4-1. Djokovic final set. Your slam predictions from earlier. Yes. All right, 4-1. 4-1. I thought Djokovic was going to pack it in after the second. Nah. All right. Djokovic halfway to the final. By the way, Samsonova versus Collins is happening at the moment. 4-2 Samsonova. Also, Rublev FAA is coming up later. We're not watching it, but it is coming up later. And Kaboli Echeverria are in a battle. They have been playing for 2.5 hours, and it's 4-3 in the third, so they've still got time to go. All right, 4-1. This match has gone for over 2 hours as well. By the way, where are you watching from? Let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Where are we watching from? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Where are you watching from? By the way, do we know what the final is as well? Let me check. We've got to have the schedule for tomorrow out already, right? Surely it's out tomorrow already. We've got to know when the final's being played. We do. It's played at 11 p.m. my time. That's actually early. All right, 4-1. We got Qatar, India, UK, Serbia, Melbourne. We've got Texas, Baltimore, Maryland, Trinidad in the house. As Djokovic hits the backhand slice, drop shot. Norrie gets it, but hits it in the net. Love 15. Germany, Canada, Portugal, New Jersey, Manila, Ireland, Edinburgh, Johannesburg, Amsterdam, Florida, California. Love 15. Hollywood, UK, Vancouver. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Norrie, but Djokovic is it out. 15-0. 15-0. As Norrie serves the fault, second serve. And we've got Greece in the house as well. Second serve. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return the forehand of Norrie. Djokovic forehand into the backhand of Norrie. And Djokovic comes in with a drop volley winner. All right, 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. 6 points away from the final. Serve again. There's a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Norrie, backhand from Djokovic. Into the backhand of Norrie, he's forehand on all to the forehand of Norrie. And Djokovic hits a drop shot. Norrie comes in with a slice. Djokovic puts up a lob. Norrie with a volley. Up goes another lob by Djokovic. Then the smash from Norrie goes in, but Djokovic gets it back. Now Nole puts up another lob. Norrie smash again. And he eventually puts it away.
Unbelievable.
30-all, and the crowd love it. Good hustle by Nole, but Norrie, too good. 30-all. That really keeps Norrie in this, at least for now. 30-all. Serve again. As a return. Goes into the forehand of Djokovic now. The backhand of Norrie. Djokovic backhand slice. Norrie runs around. Hits a drop shot. Djokovic gets it. Norrie pass. Too good. And Norrie with a big shout down the other end. 40-30. His coaches are laughing. They love it. That was a terrible drop shot, but the passing shot made up for it. 40-30. When I say terrible, it wasn't a great drop shot, but it was good to get Djokovic off the court and open the court up for a pass. It had a good angle, like it kind of, like I said, it wasn't the best drop shot, but it was a good setup shot for the pass. 40-30, if that makes sense. In fact, chat, I can draw it for you on this board after this game. As Norrie double faults. Nope, he served to the second serve. So the serve. So Norrie, right, was here, and he hit the drop shot like this, and it put Djokovic over here, right? It put Djokovic here, and then Norrie was able to run around and hit it cross court, and Djokovic was over here by the time it went past him. So it was a good drop shot because it landed like here. But it put Djokovic here. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Do we understand? Everything's backwards. So yeah, Djokovic, the drop shot landed here, which is terrible, but it put Djokovic here, which is good. And then Norrie had the whole court to hit into. All right. We get to deuce anyway. Where the hell is my... I've lost my... where... Anyways, advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic. Yeah, I don't know where my duster is. I had it. I don't know where I put it. Anyways, return goes into the back of Norrie. Djokovic on the attack. And puts it away. Nole with a double break. And he's serving the match 5-1. Quality explanation. Thank you. I hope so. This is the Tennis Talk University. Where the hell's my duster? Chad, who stole my duster? Which one of you was it? Give it back. Found it. All right. Djokovic serving to get to the final. 15 love. Oh, it's got little tennis courts on the back. That's cool. It's not permanent marker. It's a fine. Anyways, 15 love. As Norrie returns. And Djokovic forehand goes in the net. All right, 15 all. Rajiv.
For no.
Thank you for the $2.50. Also, thank you for the 40 months Coco as well. Appreciate that. Okay, 15 all. Serve to the back end of Norrie. Return is gone in the net. And it's 30-15. 30-15. Did you accidentally use permanent marker? No. This is fine. It just didn't rub off properly. I might have to get a different different eraser. This is definitely says it says whiteboard compact. It's not a permanent marker. As we're forehand now to the forehand of Norrie. Passing shot goes wide. Djokovic got match point. 40-15. Djokovic to take his spot alongside Hurkacz in the final tomorrow. Match point. Match point Djokovic. It's been a tense match as he's serving volleys and the return in the net by Norrie. Djokovic is into the final. He's one win away from 100 titles. GG's. And they have a nice exchange at the net. No, that's nice. Look, I feel like Djokovic respects Norrie for his fight. He might not like Norrie shouting and screaming in his face all the time, but I feel like there's respect there of like the competitor in each of them. Like he's like, hey, look, I get it. You're like fired up, you're yelling, screaming. I respect how fired up you are. All right. But Djokovic is playing the final of Geneva. He'll play Hurkacz tomorrow to try and win that 100th title. All right. GG's. All right. If you are leaving, by the way, don't forget to sub on the way out. Nole is just used this for practice. Yeah, I mean, this is practice for the French for sure. But winning 100 titles also is fun. Handshake was fine. I feel like they had some nice words at the net too. It seemed like it seems like they're just they're competitive, but they're also respectful. They respect each other's the way they go about playing. Will you watch the WTA final tomorrow as well? When are they playing? I don't even know when they're playing. We might. I haven't seen when the finals on though. When is the final of Strasbourg? I think it's at the same time, which kind of sucks. Nole has ruined Cam's day off. Look, whatever. It is what it is. I'll have a day off after the French Open, I guess. It'll be fine. Kaboli wins. Nice. Norrie Siraj, thank you for joining us. Polly Collins is back in the match against Samsonova. Will Djokovic play Roland Garros tomorrow also? No, he'll play on Tuesday. He'll play his first match on Tuesday. Take time off after Wimbledon. Yeah, well, I'll take time off after the French, but then also Wimbledon. Like, I'm going to... yeah. Like, we probably, after Wimbledon, probably won't stream for a couple of weeks. Which first round matches will you be covering? It depends on the schedule. I don't know. I know that there's like must-watch matches, like Badosa versus Osaka and stuff, but yeah, it kind of just depends on the schedule. So we're going to wait and see what happens. Nole is the last of the big three still standing. Yep. Bencic Rybakina is not happening because Bencic pulled out. For Geneva to Paris, how far? Travel-wise, I think it's like an hour. I think. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised if Novak will win RG. Oh, okay. Was Collins Raducanu match of the year? What? No. Who will better behave tomorrow? He can stage his comeback later. Not against Nole. That's funny. Look, Djokovic has never lost to Hurkacz, so I'm sure he's not going to lose to him on a clay court. If anything. Hey, Nash.
Hi from Serbia.
Hey, hi from Serbia. What's up? Thank you for the 5, Nash. Appreciate it. I moved several time zones and somehow Cam's still streaming, still in the middle of the night, his time. Yeah, I don't know why I never moved. Maybe I know why I didn't, because it was I couldn't leave Australia because it was shut down. We were locked in. Hurkacz beat Federer and Nadal towards the end of their careers. I hope Nole isn't next. And we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow. Will Djokovic be favourite to win the French Open if he wins this tournament? No. No. He'll be top 5 favourite, but he won't be favourite. No way. He'll be in the top. He'll be one of the favourites, but he won't be like Alcaraz and Sinner will be ahead of him. Thanks for another great stream. No worries. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to reset my alarm. I was going to wake up at 10 o'clock, but that's in like 6 hours, so I'm not going to do that. No, I'll wake up at 10:30. Tomorrow, I'm going thrifting. Might be my favorite thing to do off stream is go thrifting. I got to go find some stuff. It's my last day before I have 2 weeks of no life. I'm stuck in this chair for 2 weeks, so I got to do it. Where do you cop that couch from? I got it from eBay. Cam, is this the first clay final for Djokovic? It's Roland Garros 23. No, he made the Olympic final. Olympic medal. Remember? Gold medal Olympics. Thanks for always sacrificing sleep. No worries. It's not a sacrifice. It's all good. It's fine. What's on the thrift hunt for tomorrow? I need to get this painting that has this amazing frame. That's the first thing. And then I got to go and find... I'm still on the hunt for all these DVDs. I'm still looking for There Will Be Blood. I can't find it anywhere. Back to the Future is really hard to find on DVD at the thrift. So I'm just going to be on the hunt for movies. I also think I might start my Community TV show collection. I love that show. So Community, like TV series, might be on the cards. And just any cool stuff, like anything cool. If I see anything cool, it's like an interesting like lamp or something, I might buy it, or some crazy ass chair or something. I don't know. That's the mystery. You go to the thrift, you never know what you're going to find. That's the fun. I found some French Open Adidas tennis shoes at the thrift once. I ended up selling them because I didn't need them. But yeah, I found some Roland Garros like Adidas shoes at the thrift one time. It's crazy. Community's definitely worth a rewatch. Oh yeah, Community's hilarious. Love that. I need to get that on. I used to have it on DVD, but then when I moved, I got rid of everything, and now I'm like, I need it back. I just need the set. Can you buy a box set in one big lot? Or is it like... Can you buy a complete series in one? Oh yeah, there's 1 to 6 in one set. But I doubt I'll find it. I might have to buy them individually, I think, but you can buy a box set in one go. It's only $50. Okay. I'd rather buy that than buy like 6 seasons individually, but we'll see what we find. Get They Live, 1988. It is a documentary. Okay. What region are Australian DVDs? I think they're region 4. Region 4. PAL. 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 Region 4, I think. Because I've had a region 1 DVD that didn't work. And that was from America, so. 6 seasons in the movie, yeah. The movie's coming soon, right? They're starting a movie soon. I love TV show box sets. They often have good bonus material too. Yeah, for sure. Seems as if tomorrow's final will be on the same time as today's semi. Yeah, a little bit earlier. It's going to be earlier than the first semi-final, yes. Today's semi-final, first semi-final for sure. But the second semi, it will be it'll be on the same as the first semi. Did you connect your landline, order pizza? It's a little bit more complicated than that. My landline doesn't... I need to... For some reason, it needs an internet connection or something, so I need to figure it out. It's a work in progress. But I did get it working to answer calls, so I can call my phone, but I can't call from the phone. I got to work out how I can call out, not just receive calls, but yeah. I need to turn it into a digital phone, exactly, because it's analog, because it was from the 1990s or whatever, 1980s. So the phone is it needs an adapter or something to bring it into the 2020s. It needs an update, so I need to just find the adapters, but it does work, and I can call it. But I just can't call from it, which is what I want to do with it. I want to order pizza from it and call the doctors or whatever and talk to my friends on the phone. But I'll figure that out after the French. I don't have time to do that now. Zhang Eala are definitely in one quarter, but not sure about Mboko. Isn't Mboko playing qualies? I didn't see her in the draw. She must be playing qualies. She wasn't in the main draw. Unless she got a wild card that I didn't see. No, she's in the qualies, right? Or she's not playing. Oh, no, she is. She won. Yeah, she got through the qualies. So she'll be in the draw now. She had to play qualies, though. Have the qualies been placed? They have. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Mboko is playing Sun. God, that Zhang Stearns area is kind of scary. Oh, so the qualies have been placed. That's sick. So, Stefanini versus Teichmann. Winner plays Sabalenka. Mboko versus Sun. Any others? So, now Raducanu is playing against a qualifier. Or Saville versus Keys. That sucks. That's shit. That's not fair. On the men's side. Harris Rublev. Okay, interesting. Cilic got a lucky loser. That's good. Wait, who pulled out? Who withdrew that gave a lucky loser? Was it? It wasn't Was it Berrettini? It was Berrettini. Or it was Goffin or Berrettini? Musetti's got a... Wait, have they not put Musetti... Oh, this is not filled out properly. Shevchenko also got a lucky loser. Oh, they haven't filled out the men's side yet. All right. Cool. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. But Djokovic, he's going to try and get 100 titles tomorrow. Make sure you're there. It could be history in the making. He's playing Hurkacz. Oh, Nishikori just withdrew? Okay, I thought that was the case. So Alcaraz is playing a lucky loser as well. I would have loved to see Cilic versus Alcaraz. That would have been really fun. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Djokovic wins 6-4, 6-7, 6-1. Takes out Norrie in 3. And he is into the final. And he will take on Hubie Hurkacz in tomorrow's final in Geneva. And then, straight after that, we've got Roland Garros. So we don't stop. It keeps going. But good win by Nole. Had to fight for it. Whoop.